What's going on, you guys? Late night live stream. Late night live stream. We're going to do another special one tomorrow where I'm going to open up the panel so everybody can get their thoughts on the particular topic that I'm going to have for you guys. But salute to everybody that's up late. It's been a cold day today in the Midwest. We getting buried in, buried out. And then we got a few things to talk about. Hit that like button. What's going on, Drew Reed, Rodney Broadneck? Salute. Everybody, come on in here. Hit that like button for your boy, man. We heard what AB had to say yesterday. We heard what AB had to say. And based off what he said yesterday, right, it seemed like the whole BLK Prime thing is overall a better deal for fighters. Getting your money by the next Monday, getting the 40% of the pay-per-view, getting you everything by the next Monday. We heard what AB had to say, man. Hit that like button for your boys. You come on in here. Also, Terrence Bud Crawford. They saying that his pay-per-view numbers is 120K. Now, some may say that's pretty low, right? Hold up 1 second. Some may say that's pretty low. What's going on, Dan Tan? What's good, man? Salute to everybody that's in the building on this random late night stream. I didn't get nobody time or warning, nothing. We just go talk about it. There's some things to talk about, man. We got some things to talk about. Because Adrien Broner. Wait, let me see if this is all set up. AB was on the Portaway podcast for some of you guys who may have not seen it. And what's good, Sonny Chiba? I see you in the building. AB was on the Portaway podcast, and he has some pretty interesting things to say. At the very least, right? Sean Porter had to cut he tried to cut it short because he knew Adrien Broner was going to be talking too much. And as we know, Sean Porter is still somewhat of a company man for PBC, so he's not going to let Adrien Broner continue to just spill the beans, right? But AB, man, as we know, got a fight coming up with Ivan Redcash. And some of the things that Adrien Broner said in his interview yesterday was pretty alarming, right? He said a lot of shady things been going on, right? And we've been hearing things for a while seeping through the cracks over there at Showtime. But Adrien Broner is one of those guys that was kind of opening up the door a little bit and letting a little bit more information out there. I would imagine that they would not want people to really know about, right? Seemed like he's just happy. Seemed like he's happy. Fighting 3 times a year. When the last time Adrien Broner fought 3 times in a year? Right? When the last time anybody that has a real name in the sport fought 3 times in a year? You know, a lot of these high-level boxers, these champions, these guys, they fight 1 time a year. And even now it's looking like certain top-level guys on other promotional companies like Matchroom and Top Rank are going through the same thing. But it's been like this for PBC for quite a while. You know, guys like Danny, guys like Spence, guys like Thurman, you see them once every 2 years. Jamal Charlo, I should say. You see him once every 3 years, every 2.5 years. You know, you don't really see these guys. It seems like every so often they lose I'm not sure if it's the fighters. I'm not even going to say all the fighters, because you got guys like Wilder who came out and said that we want to fight, we want to fight, we want to fight. You got guys like Andy Ruiz coming out saying we want to fight, we want to fight, we want to fight. So, you know, the fighters want to fight, but they're not fighting. Now, Andy Ruiz and Wilder are supposed to be having a fight coming up sometime next year. Caleb Plant, Benavidez got a fight coming up. So there's some guys that get some things that's going down. Of course, it's happening next year. John Boots Ennis is fighting next year. It's a lot of fighters, man, that's wasting a lot of good years over there. And I'm looking at it like, if BLK Prime is the new wave, BLK Prime will make things happen without any real issues. I don't see why more guys wouldn't go over there to make things happen, right? Hold up, let me see. Salute to everybody that's in the building, man. Random live stream, man. Much love to everybody that's here in the building. What's going on, him Zopi? I see you in the building. Eagle Vision, salute. Drew Reed, what's good? He says, you peep how he said it's 40% on the numbers given by Monday, not the total count of pay-per-views. Yeah, man. Yeah. Look, man. Based off what we know how it worked at Premier Boxing Champions, it seemed like those guys didn't get their money right away. It seemed like they got it somewhere along the line or something. And really, it's looking like they don't. PBC really don't got the money to really. I'm starting to think it's a really, really big money issue. Unless it's a guy like Canelo Alvarez who is guaranteed to generate big money. I think a lot of these other guys is sitting around probably because they don't really got no money to pay these dudes. And BLK Prime may have this type of issue later on down the line if they don't kind of get it squared away. You know, if they kind of one may say overpaying guys, because this is what Premier Boxing Champions was doing early on. What BLK Prime is doing right now is what Premier Boxing Champions was doing early on. Guys like Danny was getting paid a lot of money to fight guys like Rod Salka. You know, they was getting paid a shit ton of money early on to fight a lot of Mr. Mahoos. And now we had a situation to where, you know, these guys not even getting guarantees, man. What's going on, Kenny Bryan? I see you in the building. What's good? Wait, hold up. Eagle Vision says, you see Charlo, a undisputed champion, having a conference on Zoom, bro. Zoom. Yeah, man. I don't know why they're still doing the Zoom conferences. maybe it's because Tim Tszyu is across the pond, bro, you know, but I'm not sure if Tim Tszyu was even on the interview, but man, I don't know why they still, I mean, maybe that's the new wave, doing the Zoom interviews. Maybe that's the new way of doing it to kind of save money, you know, setting up the press conference, setting up the facility for the press conference. That probably cost some money that they ain't really trying to spend. What's going on, Vincent Roof? I see you in the building, bro. Oh, we also have another live stream. Probably sometime in the morning, maybe not in the morning, maybe sometime in the evening. We're gonna talk about spinning the block. But we're gonna save all that stuff for tomorrow because the negotiations, Crawford dared him to put the negotiations public, which I think is a good move. And he dared him to spin the block. We're gonna talk about all that tomorrow. We're gonna continue the conversation we had the other day. We're gonna continue that tomorrow. So it might get hectic, but we're gonna have to put a little bit more regulation on it because dudes got a little bit out of control on that live stream that day. But I don't know, bro. My boy YSM came out with a video with Rachel Donaire. And she came out and said some things like how Crawford shouldn't have about the whole him wanting transparency. She pretty much said that he didn't have pretty much jurisdiction to ask for that. He's not a business partner with them, and he wasn't necessarily bringing any money to it for him to be having transparency over the fund. So, I mean, I question, bro. Like, I really question, like, do you guys really want to see this fight? But see, the whole Crawford fighting Avanesyan thing was a perfect distraction from what's really going on. What I think is going on is that Errol Spence isn't ready for Crawford. But I want to kind of save all that stuff for tomorrow. We're gonna talk about this BLK Prime because BLK Prime's still a big topic in the community as well because they the new kid on the block. And guys like Broner is happy, guys like Crawford is happy. These guys are getting paid. You know, they was waiting. You got fans sitting around waiting to see if the fighters go get paid, and you know, people coming out with articles that BLK Prime's money bouncing and all this other crazy stuff, man. So there was a lot of people hoping that this new organization fails. You know, they're hoping they fail. So I say this, man, as long as the fighters are getting paid, right? Like in the Sean Portaway podcast interview, he said, look, man, it don't matter. You know, like the fight hype guy asked, is it sustainable for them to do it, pay out like they do? Sean was like, man, it's not their problem. It's not the fighter's problem. As long as the fighters getting paid what they supposed to be getting paid, it's not their problem. So BLK Prime it sounds like a good option for fighters, if you ask me. It sounds like a really good option. You get 40% of the pay-per-view, right? I'm assuming the main event guys. Get 40%, and you get it that Monday. Not to mention you getting your guarantee up front. Come on, bro. Errol Spence, bro. I really want to say that Spence stuff for tomorrow. But the more information Adrien Broner reveals, and it's funny that a lot of the bigger channels, they're not talking about it. Maybe Blue Blood to talk about it. I think Barbershop is talking about it. But as far as like, some of the other channels that was kind of, you know, they're not really talking about it because it sounds too good. It sounds almost too good to be true. And since it's not happening on Premier Boxing Champions or Showtime, and we don't really care about it. It's not real. We want it to fail. Adrien Broner this, Terrence Crawford that. They're not going to be able to do it for a long time. There's a lot of negative things instead of being. This is good for the fighters. Because now the fighters have another platform to where they could possibly go to make a lot of money. Guys like Regis Prograis could now fight Adrien Broner on BLK Prime, and both fighters can get well compensated. Now, speaking of BLK Prime and Adrien Broner and Regis Prograis, AB said that he'll be fighting for a world title in one of those 3 fights, and he's coming for Regis Prograis after he beat up on Red Cash. So we're gonna see if AB could beat Red Cash. He should be able to beat Red Cash, right? Hopefully, it's not like some fight where he's not throwing punches and shit. And it's just AB got to let them hands go, bro. You got paid a lot of money to let your hands go this time. So I expect Adrien Broner just to let it all hang out. Don't be holding punches. He got a chin. I don't know why he ain't letting his hands go. So he ain't got no neck either. So they really ain't gonna be able to really hurt AB like that. So he might as well start letting them hands go. He's getting paid the bag to do so. That's what I want to see from Broner. I want to see AB really let those hands go because he's getting paid the bag to do it now. He said that PBC or Showtime was going to pay him the money, but they want him to fight Godzilla. Now, who is he referring to as Godzilla over there at 140 pounds or even 147 for AB to fight? Maybe somebody like Boots Ennis, and when he said that, the notion that I got was they was trying to pretty much feed off Adrien Broner to some guy they was building up or some other guy with a name to kind of boost that fighter's profile, that name off Adrien Broner's name. That's what I got from that. That they were trying to make him fight Godzilla, because let's be honest, Adrien Broner hasn't really fought since Giovanni Santiago. That was like damn near 2 years ago, 2.5, 3 years ago, something crazy like that. He's supposed to fight Figueroa. He pulled out of the fight due to, MH. Don't want to say the word because they demonetize you for certain words you use. But they pulled him out of the fight because of that. Well, he pulled out of the fight, but he probably wasn't getting paid what he really wanted. It could probably be something simple as him not getting paid what he felt that he deserved. That could be it's just something simple as that. Now, some may say that AB hasn't done much. He hasn't done nothing in the sport, yada, yada, yada. Recently, what have you done for me lately, AB? But for whatever reason, he pulled out of the fight. And now he's fighting with BLK Prime, like, about what, a month or 2 later, you hear about him signing with BLK Prime. So maybe he had BLK Prime in his back pocket as well. Salute to everybody in the building, man. Hit that like button for your boy. Late night stream. Let's see what everybody's saying in the building. He has B&B Promotions, though. Salute to Deuce 09. What's good? What's going on, baby Juju? I see you in the building. Antonio Barnes says PBC doesn't have the money to promote multiple fighters having multiple fights in 1 year. Yeah, that's what it sounds like, bro. I think it's more of a money issue, dog. I think it's more of a money issue as to why these guys ain't really fighting. Keith Thurman, he fought what? What was that? When last time Keith fought? Mario Barrios, and that was before Crawford fought, right? That's before Crawford Porter, if I'm not mistaken. That was like in what? That October? Something like that. So it's been over a year again since Keith Thurman fought. You know what I'm saying? And like AB said, these guys are wasting good prime years. They are wasting good prime years. And let's be honest though, AB did a lot of bullshitting too. So he got to take some accountability. We've seen what AB was doing. He was partying, he was doing this, he was doing that, he was hanging out with rappers and rapping and doing a lot of other stuff too. But at the same note, those guys had too much free time. And when you give a young guy that's not even 30 years old, who has millions of dollars, so much free time to do what he want to do, especially dudes from the streets. I mean, what do you think is going to really happen? You know what I'm saying? There's a high probability that he's going to get caught up into some shit that he really shouldn't be getting caught up into. This is why Errol Spence is constantly getting into accidents and getting injuries, because these dudes are out of the ring too damn long. You know what I'm saying? They don't have a consistent schedule. They don't know when they're going to be fighting next, things of that nature, right? So it's looking to me like the BLK Prime is the new wave. This is the new money boxing house. You know, they paying guys, you know, they bringing people like Chris Cyborg on board. She probably got paid a pretty penny as well because of who she is in the world of mixed martial arts. So, I mean, apparently they got the money, and some of the fans who may not be with BLK Prime, um, they don't want them to have the money. They don't want them to put up the big fights. They don't want them to be an option. Errol Spence let it be known that he's not even thinking about going anywhere else other than with Al Heyman PBC Showtime. So Crawford has to bite the bullet, right? Because let's be honest, man. Errol Spence and Crawford can make a lot more money on BLK Prime than they would on PBC Showtime, bro. They'll get a nice amount of money guaranteed up front, not to mention a 40% pay-per-view split between the both of them, right? And we know those pay-per-view numbers are going to do a lot more than 120K. You know what I'm saying? But Spence ain't budging, bro. This is what lead me to believe they don't really want to fight Crawford like that. And I really want to say the whole Spence Crawford discussion for tomorrow because I got a lot to say about that. But we're gonna talk about these pay-per-view numbers that Bud had. They say Bud did 120,000. They say Bud did 120,000 pay-per-view buys. Salute to Cerebral. I seen the building. Tay, what's good? They say he did 120,000. I think that's pretty good considering how everything played out with that fight, right? This is a new promotional company. Their first event. I think they did really good for the event. They sold out in Omaha. They did 120,000, and let's be honest, that whole card, everything was short notice. That was pretty short notice for them to have the production and have it set up in the way they did. They did that fairly quickly, and they did really good for their first event. Now, others are probably say, it was okay. It's just to be some haters, but in reality, I think they did a really good job. The production was good. The fights was good. You know, they didn't have super crazy big names on it, but everything else was good, man. The fighters got paid. 120,000 pay-per-view buys is the rumored number that they got with Crawford Avanesyan. Is a lot better than I expected, especially for short notice. We heard about this fight in what, November or something like that, right? Or maybe it wasn't. No, it wasn't late October, was it? No, it was sometime in November because we found out that the Spence fight wasn't happening due to Floyd Mayweather. Then, like a week or two later, Crawford announced Avanesyan. The next thing we know, he's fighting him December 10th. So that happened. That was a quick turnaround, and I think they did really good. I think they did really good for it to be a short notice pay-per-view event on an app that nobody really heard of yet. You know what I'm saying? So I think they did a really good job over there. And 120,000 is pretty good numbers. You know, it's pretty good numbers, man. Oh yeah, that's another thing, Dan Tan. That's right. Top Rank also had a stacked card that night. Stacked card. And yet and still, BLK Prime was still able to muster up 120K buys. So imagine what Spencer Crawford would do on BLK Prime. Man, look, man, if Spence wants what he wants for Crawford, or whatever the holdup is for that fight, if he wants the BLK Prime, got it. Don't believe the bullshit that these guys are keep backtracking on this narrative that Crawford botched the fight. Nah, bro. Nah, man. That fight could have happened many different ways. Many different ways. They wanted this dude to take a zero guarantee, bro, with 35%. BLK Prime is offering dudes 40% with the money guaranteed up front. Big money. It is a no-brainer. Salute to Tom Brady. I see you in the building. Yes, that's right, Boxing Nerd. Along with the Manny Pacquiao exhibition. That's right, man. And UFC was on that night. Come on, man. Come on, man. BLK Prime is the new wave, man. You know, the Regis Prograis probably gonna be fighting AB over there pretty soon. You know. Oh, speaking of that, Teofimo Lopez Sr. comes out and says that they going after Regis next. Now, I think that Teofimo Lopez needs to pump the brakes on that. Me personally, just real quick. I think he needs to pump the brakes on that. And get Tio got a lot of problems outside of boxing. I think he. I hate to say this, man, but he got to put his dad in the back seat, bro. There's no way he should be fighting Regis Prograis right now. I mean, hey, as a fan, make it happen. But if you're looking at a young fighter's career, I don't think that's a good move right now. Regis Prograis is a monster. And he's not going to be able to beat Rugu right now. He's going to ruin his son. And if Regis and Teofimo Lopez is really going through issues, personal issues, especially with the wife, stuff like that, nah, man, he needs to really get that together first and then resume, because he arguably lost his last fight. So Teofimo Lopez Sr. thinks his son go up in there and beat Rougarou. He got another thing coming. But yeah, if Teo forgot how to jab and everything, bro. He's Boxing Nerd says 120K is better than 77K. And I love Wilder. Yeah, I love Wilder too, man. Wilder's one of my favorite fighters. Everybody knows that. But 77K, bro. You know what I'm saying? Now that pay-per-view probably would have did 120K if it was $40 to fight the Nordic Warrior, right? He would have got a lot of, they overpricing them pay-per-views too, bro. And this also leads me to believe that they don't got the money to really pay these fighters. These fighters is out here fitting for themselves. Why was Charles Martin and Luis Ortiz on pay-per-view? That was $40, which I think was a fair price. However, why was it on pay-per-view? It just doesn't make sense. Why? Because they don't got the money to pay these dudes. They ain't got the money to get them the high guarantees anymore. Keith Thurman got how much for Barrios? Like $500K or something like that. But these dudes mad at Crawford for getting $10 million for fighting out of region. Man, y'all can go straight to hell, bro. You know what I'm saying? They can go straight to hell, bro. The numbers is just not adding up. I mean, I'm not a numbers guy. I'm not a dude that's I never claimed to know everything about the business of boxing. But I do have some fucking common sense, bro. Guaranteed money plus a 40% of the pay-per-views that you likely get by that Wednesday sounds a lot better to me than getting no money up front, a 35%, and your money on a back end somewhere 6 months to a year down the line. I mean, come on, bro. It's a no fucking brainer. It is a no brainer. You got to almost be a fool to not take that these deals that AB and Crawford got offered, bro. AB getting 8 figures for 3 fights, bro. 8 figures for 3 fights. AB been smiling ear to ear. Right? AB was like F boxing for years. F boxing for years. Now he's sitting here saying, man, I'm happy. I get paid a lot of money. It's remotivating that you're getting compensated to go out there and do it again. I expect AB to throw his fucking hands, though. AB got to throw them hands. But it's a no-brainer, man. It's a no-brainer. I mean, this is why I don't be arguing with these dudes. Like, they make it like a guy like Terrence Crawford, right? The hottest name in boxing, the best fighter in boxing, right? They was offering him no money up front, bro. No money. Terrence Crawford's a guy that used to getting his money up front. Oh, well, this is not how we do things over here, man. How y'all been getting by over here? How y'all been getting by over here? And then the fans got to pay the fighters. The $79.99 pay-per-views. The fans are paying these guys. But after the cable companies get their little 50% cut, after the promoter or whoever the case may be gets their cut, then the fighters, come on, bro. Come on, bro. Then you hear, salute to Jason Williams. He says, I saw a channel arguing that they are messing up boxing by overpaying Bud. Bro, these guys ain't been around for a long time. That's why they saying stupid shit like that. And they just saying it because they have an agenda against Crawford and whatever the case may be, bro. Y'all hit that like button for your boy, man. We got to get these likes up. late night random stream. We gonna have another live stream tomorrow. I want to open up the panel and talk about spinning the block and these options. We gonna talk about that. But right now, we just gonna talk about BLK Prime and the new being a new kid on the block and they doing right by fighters. This is something that fans was talking about for years. You know, fighters getting paid and fighters getting paid and fighters getting treated fairly and things of that nature. And then now we have a new promotional company that's really doing right by the fighters and dudes are out here hating on them. PBC has some more competition out here, and it's a one may say what is a black brand basically. So yeah, all these pro black dudes and dudes that's pro PBC and stuff like that, they don't like BLK Prime. But BLK Prime could be the ones to give your favorite fighters, a lot of money up front that they really could be looking for. And for Terrence Crawford, yesterday's price ain't gonna be today's price now. He got $10 million up front, bro. How y'all gonna compete with that? How could people? This is why they really mad, because now PBC and Showtime got to find a way to get the Crawford Spence fight to happen and make sure he gets 10 million, at least 10 million up front. How they gonna do that? How they gonna do that? Oh well, Crawford should have just fought Spence when he was in negotiations and all this other stuff, bro. But how they gonna do that when they ain't even got the money to pay these dudes? How they gonna do that, bro? He's getting $10 million guaranteed plus pay-per-view, bro. That's unheard of. What AB say? That's unheard of. That is unheard of. AB been in the sport for a long time. And AB been one of those self-promoted fighters for a long time. And guess what he said? Guess what AB said? He said that these guys need a real promoter. And he's not trying to knock Al Heyman how Al Heyman does business. This is what he said. He's not trying to knock Al Heyman how Al Heyman does business. He changed my life. But these guys over here, man, they doing things, it's unheard of what they're doing. And a lot of fans want to see him fail. You said Jamel hasn't made a big payday yet. I wonder if he'll turn out 25 million like Arrow did. Man, Jamel, remember that his last fight, he came out like a day later, or 2 days later, or a week later, or something like that. Talking about he got $10 million check or something like that to fight Brian Castano. So I'm not sure. Charlo seemed to be just based off, but Charlo seemed like they do a lot of stuff outside of boxing. Like I think Jamel be all into that fashion stuff. And I think they got a lot of stuff going on outside of boxing because they don't fight enough to be having. I just don't see them fighting enough, and it's not like they're pay-per-view draws either. So I think the Charlos got a lot of stuff. I think they make smart investments. They do a lot of things outside of sport to have those lavish mansions and all those nice cars and stuff like that. They got a lot of stuff going on outside of boxing and probably behind the scenes off the books as well. But ain't nothing like hearing something like over $20 million guaranteed. Guaranteed. I mean, come on, bro. If it was you, what would you do? Ask those guys. Ask these knuckleheads out here that's against what BLK Prime is doing for these fighters. Ask them what the hell would they do? Would you just sit back and take nothing up front? In the biggest fight of your career, the biggest moment of your life, take nothing up front, take a low cut of 35% and just hope and pray? Or will you aim and fire, get the guarantee up front, get the guarantee 40% on pay-per-views by the following week? I mean, come on, bro. It's a no-brainer, bro. It's a no-brainer. You got to be a fool not to take something like that. I'm glad Crawford took the Avanesyan fight. Good, because guess what? Errol Spence got into an accident. He would have been sitting out for over a year. Crawford don't sit out for over a year. He may sit out for a little while sometimes, especially later on in his career. And that tends to happen as a fighter gets older. But over a year? Nah, bro. Bud don't sit out for over a year. Bud made sure he made something happen. Why? Because he likes to fight, bro. He made something happen, and he made something happen just in case these dudes strung him along over the year. And sure enough, Errol Spence got into an accident right after Crawford knocked out Avanesyan. And then he took the shirt down off his site. He had it on his stories. I'm taking the shirt down. It's coming down soon or something. So like bro, they don't want. And the sad thing about Spence, he's gonna do whatever Al Heyman tells him. That's the sad thing, bro. There's a lot of money he could be making right now, I believe, with BLK Prime. And I think that if that fight was to happen, and if Spence was flexible like he said he was early on, you know how these guys could do this and do that, and but Al Heyman said he ain't letting nobody touch that fight. So if he ain't letting nobody touch it, then if it ain't gonna happen unless it's by their terms. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you ain't lying, Mr. Boxing Moves. They did. They did. The Zone started off the same way, giving out a lot of money, man. The Zone was giving fighters a lot of money. That's right. And they still here. They still here. You know? Had a few issues with the apps, and go scrap the Bushido Boxing on Instagram as well. I'm trying to build the IG channel up. But yeah, the Zone had that money up front too. Eddie Hearn's getting all that money to pay all those dudes, and they still there. They still got a lot of money to dish out to Canelo Alvarez. PBC got a lot of money to dish out to Canelo Alvarez. But see, Canelo Alvarez, we gotta be honest. Canelo Alvarez is a guy that's likely to guarantee you to get something in return. So looking at it from that business point, I never claim to be the businessman of boxing and no shit, but Canelo Alvarez is a guy that's guaranteed to generate at least a certain number that you're gonna get your return with. But with other fighters, you may have to take you may have to take a chance, just like the fighters take a chance every time they get in the fucking ring. So this is why I don't really care about these business dudes and shit, because they gonna be okay. You know what I'm saying? These fighters take a chance every time they get in that ring, losing a tooth, losing some brain cells, becoming a vegetable, all types of shit, bro. So I'm not trying to hear. I ain't trying to hear about these dudes that sit back with suits and getting paid millions and millions of dollars while the fighters got to get up in there and tear their bodies up and do all this stuff for entertainment, like gladiators and shit. I'm not trying to really hear none of those excuses. But BLK Prime ain't coming out with no excuses. Zab Judah's over here smiling. Everybody loves Zab Judah. They got Zab Judah on board. Blue Blood Sports TV is on board with them. They put a YouTuber guy. I remember Blue Blood was riding in the ambulance doing videos. Now he's the Steve Farhood of BLK Prime Boxing. Man, get the fuck out of here, bro. Are you kidding me? BLK Prime is changing the game, bro. Yeah, losing years off their life even when they win. That's what I'm saying, bro. So I'm not trying to hear no excuses, man. As long as the fighters is getting paid what they should be getting paid, some may say they're getting overpaid, but it's good to see guys like Broner and Crawford get paid good, man. Get paid what they feel they worth. Meanwhile, other dudes are sitting on the shelf. AB talking about 3 fights a year. Now Crawford probably could sit here on BLK Prime's platform, get paid the bag to beat up on Mr. Mahooz. He could do that. But he's gonna sit back and wait for Spence to spin that block. And now yesterday's price ain't gonna be today's price because he just got paid he got paid his $10 million, right? Before he even got in the ring. And then they're getting the pay-per-view split, bro. So over 120K. 120K buys. You can't say it's a bad number because of the circumstances of how the fight was made, the new promotional company. I think that's really good. It's better than what my boy Wilder did, man. You know what I'm saying? The Bronze Bomber, the Knockout King. They say he only did 77K. I didn't even want to report that. I didn't even want to mention that. Actually, I don't even think I ever mentioned that because I thought that was terrible for Bronze Bomber, man. I think they did Wilder a disservice by putting his last fight on pay-per-view, man. But guess what? They can't pay Wilder they can't pay Wilder no more. Because Wilder's worth too much money now. That's why. They can't pay the Bronze Bomber what he's worth. So now he got to be out here on pay-per-view getting 77,000 buys, allegedly. That's terrible for Wilder. Terrible. Wilder is a fighter that when he's fighting guys like that, he needs to be on TV, bro. Unless he's, because No, his fights end too quickly and shit. Then asking fans to pay $100 for a guy, and I love Wilder, but I'm just looking at it objectively. To ask fans to pay for a fight, right? $80. We haven't seen him since his last fight to Fury. Great fight, just a great heavyweight fight. I'm mad he lost, but he made a really good account of himself, showing a lot of heart. But we haven't seen him since. And then it's been about 2 years since that fight or something. 2 years. Wilder's already in his late 30s. And you ask us to pay $80 to fight. I forgot dude's name now, man. I can't believe I forgot that guy's name, bro. That's why I keep calling him the Nordic Warrior, because I forgot his name. It slipped my mind. It's late. You ask fans to pay that much money to see him fight him when that fight really should have been on Fox for the world to see. It would have got millions of views, and then Wilder would have had a shit ton of momentum going into his next fight, which could have been on pay-per-view, which is a pay-per-view fight with Andy Ruiz. It's like, but guess what? They don't got the money to pay these dudes like that no more, bro. Somebody messed the bag up over there on PBC, bro. This is why guys like Spence and them is sitting around inactive. Keith Thurman, my boy Keith Thurman. What's going on, Rebel Life Boxing? I see anybody. Y'all go subscribe to Rebel Life Boxing. This is why guys like Keith Thurman sitting around. You know what I'm saying? And when these guys be sitting around, yeah, Hellenius, thank you, bro. Robert Hellenius, thank you, Jason. When these guys sitting around, things happen. Things happen. They get fat. We seen a lot of guys over there on that side with bellies, bro. AB with a belly. We seen Spence with a belly. You know what I'm saying? We seeing dudes getting bellies because they sitting out. Keith Thurman getting fat. You know, these dudes get fat, bro. You know what I'm saying? AB got fat. And we see AB fat multiple times. Multiple times. You know what I'm saying? We seen now this. They say this is. I think this is fake, but we seen Spence fat too before. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not sure why these dudes so damn inactive unless it's a money issue. It's got to be a money issue. And then to fight the tougher fights, they gonna want more money. Guess what? We don't got that kind of money. So what we go do, we go put it on pay-per-view. And even though the fans haven't seen you, we just go hope it do what it do. That's what it looks like, bro. Yeah, this is what everybody's saying. Marvin Terrell, the arrow has 4 chins. I didn't really look that hard into it, but they saying that he was. They saying that picture is real, bro. I'm not sure if it's real or not. Guys are really, really good with the Photoshop and stuff. I don't even know how they be doing it. Yeah, that's right, man. Crawford fans showed out, man. Bud Crawford is a fucking excellent fighter, bro. Why wouldn't you pay to see Bud fight? You know what I'm saying? Why wouldn't you want to see him? He's a hell of a fighter to watch, bro. He's not like Floyd. And I love Floyd for what Floyd was doing, you know what I'm saying? But to see if you want to see some action, come on, bro. He's like the modern day Action Jackson, bro. Like, come on, man. Terrence Crawford, man. He's must see TV, like the Bronze Bomber. He is must see TV. Superman says, I heard it was nearly 200K buys. It probably was, man. It probably was. We had to get a numbers guy on here who really know exactly what the numbers was. Kenny Bryan says Spence fighting Thurman next. We'll see, man. Keith Thurman's been actually Keith's been working. Keith Thurman's been working. It's good to see that from Keith too. So Keith is fighting somebody. He might be fighting Crowley or somebody next, you guys. I'm not sure if Keith is going to be fighting Spence next, dude. Look at Keith. He's ready. Keith actually been posting training videos lately. And this is what I like to see. So, I mean, and this dude right here in the comments says he's fighting somebody. Watch. Yeah. Keith Thurman got a fight coming up. I don't think it's against Spence, bro. I don't think Keith is fighting Spence next. Spence ain't fighting until May or June, or he's not announcing it until May or June. I don't know, man. For me, that accident is convenient. A lot of guys say that shit was fake, man. We're going to talk more about that stuff tomorrow, though. But the inactivity for the fighters, man, you know, I think a lot of these dudes got less than 30 fights still. I think Keith Thurman just got 30 fights. You know, a guy like Keith Thurman who's been around for so long should have at least about same amount of fights as Crawford, man. You know, same amount. Crawford got almost 40 fights, which is a pretty good number today in boxing. Especially if you're a guy that had a hard time getting fights. You know, if you had a guy that had a hard time getting fights, 40 fights is good fights. Demetrius Andrade got more fights than a lot of these dudes. You know what I'm saying? And he had some bad he had some business issues with his career, and he still was able to muster up 30 some fights, you know. So I mean, I don't know, man. I think inactivity is my biggest gripe with PBC. And I like all these promotional companies. I think they all do good and bad. BLK Prime is still pretty new, so we don't know what they go do. But my thing with PBC is the fighter inactivity, man. We don't see these guys enough. And this is something I've been saying for years. We just don't see them enough. Don't see them enough. Maybe it's because boxers are worth so much money. They want so much money that these guys can't sustain that for all the fighters, the hundreds of fighters they got to put on all these shows. Maybe they just don't got the money for them. Salute to everybody in the building, man. Late night stream, man. I'm not sure if it's storming where you guys at, but we got a bad winter storm out here. It's like negative degrees outside. It's snow every fucking way. It's snowing all day. This is terrible. Yeah, that's right, Hove. If Spence ain't fighting until June, Bud would have been out for almost 18 months, bro. That's been almost 2 years, bro. You know what I'm saying? 18 months? Nah, bro. At 35 years old? Nah, bro. Crawford's smart. He's smart for yeah, hit that like button for your boy. Crawford's smart for having that BLK Prime in his pocket. Hell yeah. I'm glad come on, bro. Come on, bro. Be mad at those guys for not making it happen. Because when we open up the panel tomorrow, that's what's going to be happening. They're going to go back to Crawford jumping out of negotiations to fight Avanesyan, blah, 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 yada, yada. But when we talk about spinning the block, they don't want to talk about it. Hey, you said Keith working on that core hard. Hey, he probably is preparing for Spence, but Spence ain't going to be fighting until, man, we ain't even in 2023 yet. And he talking about May or June. We still in 2022. And he talking about May or June. He said, Bushido W, that's right. You said Spence is my favorite fighter. Hope he gets busy in April. Bro, that'd be ideal, bro. Spence do not need to be out to no May. That's not even good for him. Because let's be honest, his fight with Ugas, man, he had some trouble. You know, he was having rookie mistakes. It's because ring rust. He ain't been in there in a while, you know? And when you ain't been fighting for a while, you get docile, especially as you get older anyway. These dudes wasting good prime years, like AB said, man. And AB said he could possibly retire after these 3 fights, man. He actually said he could walk away from the sport after those 3 fights, man. You know, he said he could walk away from boxing after those 3 fights, man. How could you be mad at that? Because it was looking like AB was going to be one of those fighters that has seen better days, and now he ain't gonna get no more big paydays. But now he's out here. BLK Prime came on the scene, and guys like Broner, who's if anything, he's really good on the microphone. Can revitalize his career and give it one more good go and get paid well to do so. Right? How much was AB gonna get paid for Figueroa? Probably not nearly as much. Not no 8 figures. I tell you that. And it wasn't gonna be on pay-per-view either. Yeah, Boots. People said the clock is ticking, bro. 120 days. Spence got to fight or vacate, bro. This is what Bozy Ennis said. I got the video out. Salute to my boy YSM Sports Media for the interview. But I got the video out, and Bozy says that Spence got to fight Boots in 120 days or vacate, bro. So, man, we gotta save that stuff for tomorrow because I'm still trying to figure out what are these options he's talking about. Salute to Superman. He says Thurman might not be the sweetest sweet cherry that Spence thinks. Nothing Spence did against Mikey or Porter suggests that he blows Thurman out. Both guys have been inactive or injured, but Thurman lives cleaner. Yeah, man, you ain't lying, bro. Um, I don't see him blowing out Thurman either, bro. I think that's a really tough fight. We haven't seen Spence fight a crafty fighter. Porter or Mikey or Ugas are guys who don't move around the ring, and they typically stand right in front of the guys for the most part. So does no, Porter gave him some good angles though. Porter's a hell of an athlete. I think Porter's a better overall athlete than Spence. But yeah, dude. Thurman is a crafty dude with some good feet on him, good legs. He move around good. What's going on, Pooh Dangles? I see you in the building. Yeah, dude's mad at BLK Prime on the scene, man. I'm glad BLK Prime came on the scene. Shake things up, right? Shake things up a bit. Make things interesting. Give the fighters a reason to give the fighters a platform to where, like, look, man, if we can't get this fight here, let's take it over there, right? If we ain't necessarily signed anywhere and then we have flexibility to move around, let's go and BLK Prime. Tell them we want to make this fight, see what they'll give us for the fight. Let's put on the show for the fans. You know what I'm saying? This is what I thought the people wanted, these guys over there. I thought they wanted these fighters to get paid and we getting the big checks over here and yada, 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 and all this other stuff. But it's looking like that's all been capped. A guy like Terrence Crawford can't even get a guarantee, bro. At 35%, that's just. And then based off of, I think the information AB gave us, and I think Richard Schaefer also talked about what BLK Prime was doing as well. And it's the truth. BLK Prime is doing something totally different. They must have got a lot of money, a whole lot of money to invest in boxing, bro. A whole lot. Enough money to pay a guys 8 figures up front and give them pay-per-view money on the back end. Remember when PBC first came out, they wasn't doing pay-per-views. It was free boxing for everybody, free on TV. But they was paying fighters these high money, high guarantees, right? Was they giving high guarantees back then? Or was they still doing that back end stuff? I think they was giving them like the low guarantees up front. And then on the back end, they was getting a lot of money. But see, like that stuff has dried out. Fighters sitting out, you know, and then you ask fans to pay $80 to see a guy you haven't seen in 2 years. You know what I'm saying? Errol Spence, it's gonna be a while since we've seen him fight last. Over a year. And then, of course, if it ain't Crawford, they gonna still ask you to pay $80 to see him fight. When we don't even know if he's the same fighter. We don't know who he's, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, bro. I don't know. But I think 120,000 pay-per-view buys is really good for Terrence Crawford, considering the fight was short notice. They're not talking about it because Eddie Hearn, guys like Eddie Hearn, yo, hit that like button for your boy, man. Guys like Eddie Hearn came out hating, saying that fight probably ain't gonna do 5,000, that it's not gonna do 15, you know, all this other stuff, right? But it ended up doing project numbers better than they expected. Fans tried to disregard that and act like that was cap, you know, but they'll believe. See, boxing fans tend to believe what they want to believe when it comes from people that's actually dealing with it. You know, you hear the guys that's actually dealing with it, right? Dealing with these situations. They'll come out and tell you some information. Guys like Broner, guys like Crawford. They'll come out and tell you this, but fans be like, nah, we don't believe it. But then you got people coming out who don't necessarily got anything to do with their business. People like Rachel Donaire, for example. No, none against her, but like, who are you to say what happened with my situation? You know what I'm saying? Terrence Crawford came out on a live video. That means live, no editing. If I make a mistake, if I say something wrong, it's live on video, on camera. It's different doing lives than it is doing a pre-recorded video where you can take things out and edit it and make it look like nothing happened. It's different. This is why I wanted Spence to come on that live stream. This is why I want him to come on that live stream. You know what I'm saying? Because then he would have been put on the spot. He would have had to address and rebuttal everything the Crawford was saying right then and there, instead of waiting 16 hours later when he had a ghostwriter tell him what they tell him what to say. Because he wasn't privy to the information that was going on because he wasn't part of the negotiations. Come on, man. You said Errol will be moving up to 154 soon, Rebel Life. He probably, man, ain't no telling what he's gonna do, bro. He said he got options. I don't know what these options can be. Like I said, I'm gonna save that. We got that stream for tomorrow, and I'm gonna open up the panel for that one. But I don't know, bro. I say this too, though. If Errol Spence really wanted to fight, he know where to fucking go. If he wants to make sure, if it's about money, if it's really about money, he know where to go, bro. You know what I'm saying? He know where to go. All these fighters right now, BLK Prime is the new wave. You know where to go. They really got no excuses anymore. You know what I'm saying? They really don't got no excuses. It's probably why AB was reluctant on fighting Prograis. It's because he knew that Showtime and then wasn't gonna give them enough money for that type of fight. But with BLK Prime, both guys will get paid really good. You know what I'm saying? Really, really good. Regis Prograis probably get a career high payday fight on BLK. You know? Let's see what's in here. You ain't lying, Marvin Terrell. That's damn good. 120K because it was Crawford by himself. It wasn't a Mexican fight on the other side of the ring. Facts, bro. You know what I'm saying? Son of Peter says, does BLK Prime has 120K subscribers? I don't know. I guess that's irrelevant because there's 120K is contributed from Terrence Crawford and Avanesyan. And probably a little bit of Chris Cyborg too. Because she has a pretty good following. Hey, you ain't lying, Toronto. Let Pacquiao fight Crawford on BLK for $20 million. Hey, that might be an option for Bud, bro. But I don't think Bud really. I don't know if they really want to fight the old man Pac now. He's 44. You know, it's still a good name to put on your resume, but Pacquiao ain't the same guy. And he fights Crawford, it could spell disaster for him. However, like Roy Jones did for guys like Mike McCallum back in the day, I fought him because he just needed some money. I loved him, but I fought him because he needed some money. Maybe Pacquiao needs some money. Crawford could fight him on BLK Prime. They get paid really well, and Pacquiao could continue to ride off to the sunset and stop giving everybody in his country money. Stop being so damn generous. Hey, that ain't bad, Superman. 120K, a sold-out arena on short notice, and it was a good tune-up. $10 million. Not bad at all, bro. I think Terrence Crawford came out good with that. And fans hating and they mad. They mad because Bud came out with the bag, man. They real mad he came out with the bag. They real mad. They did not want him to they did not want him to win, bro. They want to keep up this little game that we're playing. And now that it's open smoke, we can spin the block. Worst case scenario would have been if Crawford got a cut in the fight or something like that, right? Nothing close to that happened. He destroyed dude like he's been destroying everybody else, right? He said, look, I'm still here if you're ready to spin that block. And let's put the negotiations. Let's make them go public this time. That says a lot right there in itself. Like I said, I want to save more of this Crawford Spence conversation for tomorrow because we go talk more in detail about it. But I think that says a lot. Make it public this time because they wanted it private last time. For whatever reason, they wanted it to be private. Why? So they can fucking bamboozle boxing fans and make it look like Crawford really they would go stall him out for as long as they could until he did what he did. But it just so happened he had a good deal in his back pocket. Why? Because he's a hell of a fucking fighter. They was willing to pay him that much money and give him those guarantees and shit because of who he is. They paying him what he's worth, bro. PBC disrespecting Terrence Crawford, if you ask me. Look at this dude. Look what he's fucking doing to these dudes, bro. Ain't nobody in boxing whooping dudes, beating dudes' asses like this outside of the Bronze Bomber when he but he be knocking people the fuck out. Well, Crawford be beating the shit out of dudes. So I ain't trying to hear none of that bullshit, bro. What'd you say, Kenny? Let me see what you said, Kenny. You said my question goes unanswered. Well, let me see what you asked. You gotta may have to donate a super chat or something for me to notice it. You said, did BLK Prime offer Spence $100 million to fight Crawford? He would have turned that down too, I think, bro. He got to call Al first, dog. Come on, Kenny. I know Spence is your guy, right? And I like Spence too. But you got to call Al. So Al Heyman ain't gonna let you go get this money. Yeah, he ain't gotta pay out. Al Heyman ain't gotta waste no money. BLK Prime's gonna take front the bill for the fight. Nah, we gotta wait and see what Al go do. Come on, man. Al fucking some of these dudes. I don't know, man. I get it there. I get the loyalty thing. I'm all about it. But I don't think Al really believes that Spence could beat Crawford for real. I think that has something to do with it as well. I don't think they really confident in their fighter like that. Not to mention the accidents. He's all accident prone and nah, bro. They trying to age Bud out, man. I don't think that's gonna work. 35 today, 36 today ain't the same 35, 36 as yesterday. It's not. It's just not. Especially if you're a guy that take care of yourself, got good genetics, et cetera, et cetera. A 35-year-old today is not a 35-year-old from the 80s or the 70s or even the 90s. It's different. So they may be trying to wait him out, but it may be even worse for him because he's still knocking dudes out. And while they sitting back, being inactive, judging opposition, at least this dude's staying busy, bro. And he getting paid to do so. And see, before the fight, and I'm going to get ready to close it out, but before the fight, it was, I'm going to spin the block. We go spin a block. Errol Spence didn't seem to be tripping too hard about Crawford fighting Avanesyan. He was like, a little blindsided by it. But it's all right. I'll spin the block. The fans was tripping, coming out with videos. Crawford never wanted to fight, yada, yada, yada. But now, after the fight, after what he did to Avanesyan, oh, well, I'm not too happy how he did business. And, we get into a car accident, right? And in the video, on the live stream video, he didn't seem to be too hurt from the accident. Honestly, he didn't. I'm not sure where he was sitting in the car. I'm not sure anything. We're going to talk more about that accident stuff tomorrow, too. Because a lot of guys seem to believe that was staged and fake. But I don't know, man. Hold up. Salute to Hollow Ninja for the super chat. He says, Terrence Crawford did everything he was supposed to do. These bisexuals keep switching narratives. The window is getting too narrow to defend Arrow. Yeah, man. The window is getting too narrow to defend Arrow. You ain't lying, bro. I like that. He said the window is getting too narrow to defend Arrow. Yeah, I like that. Salute to you, Hollow Ninja, for the super chat, bro. Yeah, bro. It's getting too narrow to defend Arrow, but they go find a way, bro. This, like I told you guys, this Spence Crawford thing is going to be a tit for tat. Tit for tat. One guy's going to seem to have the control of the narrative. Then another guy going to have the narrative. Then the next guy. It's going to be back and forth. Right now, Crawford got the control. Why? Because he told dude, you go spin this block and was put the negotiations public this time. Now Showtime and PBC probably going to be a lot more hesitant on doing business with Crawford. But we all know how this fight can happen. BLK Prime can make it happen. Point blank, period. Point blank, period. BLK Prime can make the fight happen. I don't know, 120,000 buys. It's a good number for Terrence Crawford. Short notice fighting a Eastern European guy, Armenian, Russian fighter, and really a lot of people never heard of. On a new promotion company on an obscene app. So we go see, man. You said that stabbing left hand to the body. You talking about that? Yeah, that stabbing left hand he got looked really stiff. You know, I don't know, man. Crawford. We gonna talk more about the Spence Crawford fight tomorrow on the live stream, bro. Because I got a lot of stuff I'm saving up for that. But yeah, man, Adrien Broner, came out and pretty much dropped the bomb on Al Heyman PBC yesterday. Said that BLK Prime is doing it differently. What they're doing is unheard of. And let's be honest, AB is he's somewhat of a young businessman in boxing. He was, doing his thing about being promotions. Now, fast forward about damn near 10 years later, he's saying that a big problem right now over there is that they need a real promoter. A real promoter. This is what AB said. They need a real promoter. And really they do. You know what I'm saying? They need a real promoter. You know what I'm saying? They need a real promoter. This is what they said Crawford needed a promoter and all this. Well, okay, well then everybody over there needs one too. Everyone over there needs one too. Then not to mention, the fighters are getting paid 40% of the pay-per-view. 40%. And you get your money like not 6 months, not a year down the line or no shit like that. You ain't gotta worry about like AB was upset. I remember one interview he had a few years ago. Not even a few years ago, probably a couple of years ago. And I know you guys seen it too, where AB was mad about. He said something about basically Al Heyman was still holding his check from the Pacquiao fight. His $10 million. He wanted his $10 million. He was complaining about that. Like they was holding his money or something. So look, and then he came out and said they messed up my little bro's money. I'm assuming he was talking about Tank. You know what I'm saying? I'm assuming he was talking about Tank. So yeah, man, it's been a lot of things that's been said, a lot of stuff seeping through the cracks over there. A lot of other fighters are a little bit more loyal and gonna be a little bit more tight-lipped. But guys like AB, he can't keep his mouth shut. And then Sean Porter even was like, yeah, but then Sean Porter had to cut it short because at heart he still want to go over there on a panel and shit and cover the fight. So he didn't want to. He had to get AB up out of there because AB would have kept talking if he had to let him. So yeah, man. Pretty revealing information that a lot of people scared over. I think one thing people really they skated over in that segment of the interview. They listened to the part where AB said that they tried to have me fighting Godzilla. Have him fighting Godzilla. But we'll pay you the money, but you got to fight Godzilla. You know what I'm saying? But BLK Prime, well, you can pick whoever you want to fight, and you get triple the amount that they was giving me. You know what I'm saying? No brainer. So AB gonna be fighting Ivan Redcash. I personally think that's a good fight for a comeback fight for Broner. I'm a guy where he can let his hands go and really see where Redcash isn't a guy that's Redcash go give him some good go, but we don't expect Redcash necessarily win. But it's a good tune-up comeback fight for Broner. And then we go see where he at and fight Regis Prograis. Regis Prograis, one of my favorite fighters as well. So it'd be interesting to see if Regis, a guy who seems to be flexible, be able to fight on different networks, could do business and fight on BLK Prime. He was at the event as well. So yeah, man. BLK Prime is the new wave in boxing. I think they're here to stay. I think they did a great job. Salute to Hollow Ninja for another super chat. He says Foden moving up to Duck Inouye. Actually, I think I need to talk about that because somebody said something about Fulton and Fulton responded to him on Twitter or something like that. What's going on, Dre the man? He said Bruce MF Vane. Yeah, Bruce Vane, man, he be cooking, bro. Bruce Vane be cooking. I like his channel too, man. He says he won't fight until the fourth quarter of next year. Yeah, bro. That's what it's looking like. That's what it's looking like, bro. He says how they do 120K, but they gave refunds. I don't know, bro. I heard something about some refunds. But man, I take everything with a grain of salt. To be honest with you. I take everything with a grain of salt. You says Fulton beats Inoue? I like Inoue a lot, man. I don't know. I think Inoue's a hell of a fighter, but I don't think he. I think he said he never fought a black fighter or never even sparred a black fighter. So that's something he never really been in there with. But he's a very, very capable guy. Well, and I think he's a really complete fighter, Inoue. I think Inoue is a complete boxer. He can punch with both hands. He's a good puncher. He got good defense. He got good ring IQ. Inoue, he's checking all the boxes, and not to mention he's tough as shit, and he got a chin on him. So I don't know, man. Inoue, that's a tough. I don't know. Yeah, you ain't lying, bro. The same thing going on with Android. Charlo's quiet as a church mouse. He ain't saying nothing. It's open smoke. We know Boo Boo go beat Desmond Nicholson. We know he go beat him. He said he wants nobody Charlo. He called Charlo a B and all types of stuff, bro. Charlo ain't saying nothing, dude. He ain't saying nothing, bro. He ain't saying nothing. Spence, oh well, you know. See, Charlo, he can't say nothing about stuff that happened with his brother over 6 years ago. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing but open smoke. But with Spence, there's kind of like some excuses still out there. And Crawford shouldn't have did this. And he was with Bob Arum and he was signed with the wrong promoter and he did this and he did that. And he said all these obstacles and hurdles instead of just getting in the ring and fighting. But yeah, you guys, that's all I got for tonight. I'm salute to everybody that showed up, man. Random live stream. Had a nice amount of people in here, man. Much love to all you guys. I really appreciate you dudes and gals. Hit that like button for your boy, man. We go to another live stream tomorrow. I'm not quite sure if it's going to be in the AM, maybe sometime in the evening. And then we go open up the panel. We go talk about the public negotiations, spinning the block, and the options that Spence has. Hope everybody have a good night. Like, subscribe, holla at your boy. Peace out.